then controlling on Stitch is kinda stiff. Walking around with the D-pad makes Stitch very slow, but however, using the analog left stick moves him fast. But this is a problem because you can't control him very straight, so here's what I do. I usually use the left analog stick while pressing the R2 button. That way he can control straight on. Overall, using this control style feels decent. Yeah, I know it's hard work, but what can you do? Stitch could climb onto something that looks climbable, like the log, or the treadmills, or wires. He also has a good aiming attack by pressing the R2 button, the same thing what I usually do, and just aim at enemies, and he also has an awesome double jump. This is actually usable, once again, during the grapple gun sections. But however, in the jetpack sections, he is not good at controlling the jetpack. It's kinda like Crash Bandicoot 2, the jetpack levels, but not as brilliant controlled. Like, he actually moves like butter, for instance. But the jetpack isn't really used that much in most levels, so that's a good thing. Okay, for the collectibles. Once again, just like I said, you have to collect DNA to enter the next level. But you can collect all of them. And there's another collectible. Demo wheels. Demo wheels are kinda like a secret item. What are these for? By unlocking clips from the movie. But they're really hard to find. Some of them could actually blend into the environment, or some environments are so big that you can't even see the movie reels. But that's not hard enough. They decided to use something very worse. Squid bots. These hovering robots will lead Stitch on a wild chase to find hidden movie reels. To activate a squid bot, simply bump into it, and the chase is on. Better hurry, because if a squid bot pauses for too long, it will warp back to its starting position. The squid bots start out pretty simple and easy, well, sorta. But then in the later levels, it gets way too difficult. Like, some squid bots could actually warp them back very fast. Like, for instance, in Meet the 700s, I had to chase a squid bot, but I have to move as fast as I can, because if I don't, it teleports you back where it started. And it really gets annoying in the grapple section. Sometimes, a squid bot could actually warp back very fast when it's not that far away. Like, you touch it, and it moves a little bit in a few blocks and teleports them back into the beginning again. Yeah, I really hate the squid bots very much, but not as much as the enemies. Well, they're simple. I'm not going to name all the enemies, but I'm going to name a few. We have your typical soldier. Yeah, they usually just shoot lasers, that's pretty much it. But not as much as the heavy soldier, which carries rocket power, and your blaster can't hit him. The only simple way is A, using the freeze ray or the rocket gun, or B, you could just grab him by pressing the circle button to lift him and throw him off a cliff. Or C, you could use the ball slam. Just hit him 2 times, or 3. And then we have the green mug creatures. They're kinda cute and has no threat to them. They could be funny most of the time, but however, when they're mutated, they look disgusting, and you can't shoot the lasers at them because they're invincible. Well, except for the ball slam move, just like I said, just hit him 2 or 3 times. Or again, just grab them and throw them off the cliffs or in the ground by doing it 2 times. And then we have these crab-like things. And no, they don't have a name. I couldn't find the names of these creatures. And no, they're not even featured in the enemies list in the manual. Like, yeah, they made all the enemies, but why didn't they include them? Okay, about these enemies, unlike the green mud creatures that doesn't do nothing, these things can actually hurt you a little bit. They pinch you and take most of your health away. You could kill them by shooting them with lasers. But however, when they're in the mutated form, oh my god, they look terrifying. I can't believe this is actually from the game. When I was a kid, I used to be very terrified of these. And I couldn't shoot them with lasers. So the only thing you can do is do a ball slam. But unlike the other big enemies which lasted 2 hits, for these you have to take 5 or 6 hits on these huge ass bugs. Or however, when this enemy is doing something I don't know what he's doing, you can actually ball slam him once when he's in that position. And blam, he's out. Now the ending. I'm going to spoil all the 3 bosses, but if you don't like to be spoiled, click this annotation here. For the ending, I'm going to name all the 15 levels and 3 bosses during the ending. So, you have been warned. When you start the game, the first world have Green Mud Jungle and Rotten Eggs. However, there is no boss in the first world. When you enter a second world, there's a cutscene where 621, aka Chop Suey by the way, finds a grapple gun and takes it for himself. Meanwhile, the creatures I talked about that got mutated is responsible by this rat you may remember from. You may think it's his first major appearance to the franchise, but no, this is a different kind of rat. He has a different name called by Dr. Habit-Rail instead of Dr. Hamstervale. He's covered with clothing instead of just a red cape and a symbol on his chest. And his voice is different, because he was voiced by James Arnold Taylor instead of Jeff Bennett. So it's the same looking rat but completely different. Okay, back to the topic. The second world has Got Gas, Caverns and Chasms, Greenma Falls, which introduces the grapple gun, and Hotfoot. Then we get to face the first boss, Dr. Habit-Rail. To beat him, first you must lift a bomb up and go next to the jumping platform in the middle, to throw at him in the head 3 times. And after Dr. Habit-Rail flees off a ship, but you're not done with him, go to the aiming missile section, and blast him 3 more times as well. And after that, he is defeated and he escapes in his hamster bowl. After that, we go to the third world. Once World 3 starts, there's another cutscene where 621 finds the rocket pack and uses it for himself once again, and that's pretty much it. The third world have Meet the 700s, Soldier Trial, Jungle Flight, which introduces the jetpack, and the Ivory. Then we get to the second boss, which is 621, aka Chop Suey, who is so jealous at Stitch so much and Jumbo for making him the best experiment. 621 decides to destroy Stitch by gathering a lot of DNAs and himself to fuse them in the mutator and transform him into a mutant. To beat the boss, you must climb up to the mutator generators and shoot all 3 switches using the blaster. And then, once all 3 switches are all destroyed, then stand in a position while 621 does a roll attack. When it's at the very right time, dodge it so he could be electrocuted by the electric field 6 times, and that's it. Before you enter the final world, Jumba and 621 gets captured by Gantu, and Stitch needs to rescue Jumba before it's too late. The final world have energy lines ringed around the lasers, welcome aboard error number 626, and Stitch in space as the final level. And finally, you face the final boss, Gantu himself. When you start the boss, use the grapple gun to swing through the generators and destroy the 3 small generators in each room. After you destroy them, the floor collapses and now it's you versus Gantu himself. Jumba actually helps you out by using the freeze ray to freeze Gantu once he is frozen for a short time. Pick up a bomb so you could throw it at him while he's frozen by doing it 3 times. And that's it. Once Gantu is defeated, Stitch and Jumba escapes on a police ship and both Stitch and Jumba lived happily ever after. Until they get captured again, which starts the movie. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what do you do after it's over? Well, you could get all the DNAs and demo reels to get a 100% completion, which I just did, and watch all the clips from the movie and trailers to be exact as a bonus. Overall, it's enjoyable, and if you want to play it again, then good luck. So, what did I think about this game? Well, like I said, it's an underrated PS2 game, let alone an underrated Disney game as well. Like, this game could actually be good, just like one of the Disney afternoon NES games, or the SNES games as well. Well, even though there are some few flaws to it, I still actually enjoy it. I don't know, maybe I'm just good at this game, and it actually has a fun replay value into it, if you want to get all the collectibles or not. Well anyways, even though I like this game, there are some little few flaws like the grapple gun system and the green rings thing, which I just don't like. But overall, it is actually a good game. I give Stitch Experiment 626 a 4 out of 5. I know many of you may disagree about my opinions and the score rating, but hey, what can you do? I still enjoyed it as a kid back then and still enjoyed it till this day as a young adult. If you are a Lilo and Stitch fan, by no means get this game. But if you're not a Lilo and Stitch games, then yeah, it's very hard to play it. Especially the rings part. But overall, just a good average game. Not the greatest game of all time, but good. This is Gamer actually, and thanks for watching. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to jump in my bed now, because I have nowhere else to turn.